So I'm Paul McClatchie. I run Engage People. It's a financial technology recruitment business. We set up operations in 2016. We have a team of 15 people. So I think previously we would have had an accountant, but it was really just one-way information. You know, he was capable, but would have shared monthly management accounts without a huge amount of analysis. So we've been working, I'd say, over the last 18 months and been very happy with the service. There's three services effectively that we utilise Azets for. So I mentioned the payroll side, we find to be very efficient. So we have payroll for our own team as well as we have temp contractors. So needless to say, we have to get everything right, spot on first time. I think the process that we have up and running now has been immaculate over the last 5 or 6 months since we've been in operation. So that's really important for us. So we want to be able to onboard a new temp or contractor and have a fuss-free scenario. And it just means if they get in touch or they have a query that the responsiveness is strong, and we've certainly managed to achieve that. So the other piece then is on the monthly management account. So Avril has been super from that point of view. So we receive our monthly management accounts. A lot of it's up to us really as to how quickly we get them back. But we find the reports that we get to be excellent, really full of useful insights. And what I found is that they really tailor them to our preference, you know. So in the past I was getting monthly management accounts that were useful, but a lot of the information I wasn't really, utilising, whereas the executive summary I get now is really spot on. And I look forward to receiving it then on a monthly basis. So with Tony then, I meet Tony quarterly, and look, I find that really helpful. So I ask him to hold me to account on certain things and for him to be assertive around, certain aspects. I found one of my original concerns was not everyone understands the recruitment sector, and I'm sure every sector has its own quirks, but you've got clients who are the ones paying the bills, and then you're sourcing candidates to place in roles. So I found that Tony picked it up very quickly and was able to make provide really good advice early enough on, so that was very helpful. The accuracy of the monthly management accounts has been really helpful for us to analyse performance. And we've introduced then salary ratios for each of the team. So in addition to our monthly management accounts, which is quite common within recruitment, people's commissions are paid and we're able to work out ratios, and we receive that information back almost instantly. So as soon as the month closes, the payroll team get in touch basically with the pay slips. We approve that. It's all done, online through an appropriate electronic link. We find that to be very helpful. And then shortly after that, then we receive individual KPIs for each of the team. That's been very helpful for performance management. And I think each of the team find that to be very useful from their point of view. So Tony was quick enough to make some recommendations from a cash flow perspective. So just one of the quirks of our sector is that very often people are on a 3-month notice period now, which is more commonplace, maybe than 1-month notice period. We focus in probably slightly more on the executive side of recruitment. So again, those extensive notice periods are more common. So Tony was quick to point out that a lot of the work that we do, so we could take on a position in January, the position is filled in February, March, but we might not get paid until June. So it was just to take that into account, both from a commissions point of view, as well as from a labour planning perspective. And that was really helpful. I mean, all of these things you think about, but it's really just having an experienced finance director to point it out, we find to be very helpful. Just one other piece to mention, Rebecca advised me that she finds Xero to be excellent. So we were using an older accountancy package. Xero has saved us a lot of time, from our end. So we use Business Revolut, and the reports that I get back now are really detailed, and it's very helpful from that point of view. And if there's ever expenses that we're looking at, what have we spent on marketing, what have we spent on entertaining, how is that, what percentage of that is a cost of sales, we're able to apportion different expenses to different people. We found it to be excellent. So I wouldn't underestimate the value of having Xero as part of our, the tools that we use. We found it to be really good. I find the responsiveness very helpful, and it's a very friendly organisation. Like the touch points I have, with everyone has been really positive so far. So I know Rebecca, who's our accounts assistant, the interaction she has been really positive. It's very quick. I'm never left wondering what to do next. Sometimes you can get some financial information, or someone might say, there's a payment coming out. you have a broad idea basically as to what's coming down the line, but I find that I'm really able to unpeel the onion with with the service that Tony and Avril provide. So I think that's probably the key piece. I also think having the quarterly catch up with Tony, it's just been very helpful from a business perspective. There's sort of actions that I have to take on the back of the meetings we have, and I ask him to hold me accountable then for certain revenue goals and so forth. So I feel it's very it's the equivalent of having a fractional CFO, which we found to be useful. The previous service we had was fine, was fit for purpose, but there wasn't a huge amount of accompanying recommendations or analysis to go with it. I found it surprisingly quick to get up and running. I thought to myself this was going to be a bit of a task of changing providers. There's a bit of information required from a payroll point of view, as you would expect, basically, because you're sharing information, quite a bit of detail. There's a lot of discretion attached, but I would have a very high trust level. The experience I've had is that the team know exactly what they're doing, and that's been very helpful. So from a payroll point of view, they had they run a sort of a trial payroll with the existing, on the same path as the existing in the first month, and then they take it over the second month, and that worked very well from that point of view. Azets have a standard set of accounts that they share, and they ask, well, what's of most interest to you? So I found that to be excellent, to be honest with you. Rather than having, you can still have all the accounts and details if you want to access it, but the executive summary piece is sort of what's of most interest, and I think that's really, really useful. Efficient, I would say, friendly, responsive,